Finally, I have been saying I was going to review Prince's Purple Rain since I did the bad review, but that kind of got fucked up with the release of The Death of Slim Shady, so all of my focus and energy kind of went towards that album. And then I got sick the following week, or that week actually. I got sick the following week after it came out. I got sick, so that pushed it back even further. And I wrote a script for Purple Rain before I got sick and before The Death of Slim Shady. Literally after I wrote the script for Thriller, I wrote one for Purple Rain, and I went back, read it, so didn't like what I had down, so I scrapped it, and I went through and listened through the album again so I could write new fresh takes so I could have the best review possible. Anyway, Purple Rain is a soundtrack slash album. Honestly, I'm just going to consider it an album, even though it's technically a soundtrack to the movie Purple Rain, but nevertheless, it was released in 1994 along with the movie. It is widely regarded as one of the greatest albums of all time and being heavily influential, just like Thriller. And it is a true successor to his album 1999, which is also a great album. Throughout my life, I've been mainly hip hop for a majority. Not until recently, like last year, I started diving into different music genres, like old school rock, soul, R&B, pop, and that's when I found, that I really enjoy Michael Jackson's music. And right along with that, I decided even more recently to dive into Prince, into his catalog. And honestly, in doing so, it made me angry about the fact that I didn't do it sooner. So, here we are now. Prince really is a great artist. He really is. His ability to play any instrument he picks up is kind of ridiculous. And his songwriting is second to none almost. His singing is great as well. Not as good as MJ, but he can sing just like MJ. He is not as good as MJ, but he's right there. He's definitely a better musician all around than MJ. But this is not a Michael Jackson versus Prince video. They're both great artists, and I don't feel like I should compare them because they're very different. But anyway, let's actually review the album. Let's stop with the monologue and let's get to the album. Kicking off the album with Let's Go Crazy. This is a great way to start off the album. It kicks off with a bang. This album's very short, just 9 songs, just like Thriller. So, that's something to keep in mind. But like I was saying, this album starts off great with Let's Go Crazy. The instrumental on this song starts off and it slowly builds off of itself. It amplifies throughout the entire song. The background instrumental just slowly building off of one another as the song keeps going on. It starts with the background instrumental, and then it gets amplified by this beat that comes in, and it gradually builds off itself into the verse of the song. And his singing is so good. The overall flow of the verse is slow paced, but it's nice. The instrumental is what really stands out throughout the song. Prince has the most badass instrumentals I've ever heard, but because, like I said, throughout the song, the instrumental gets better and better, and then halfway near the end, we get this badass guitar solo bass come in, and it's just so crisp. Let's Go Crazy is quite the beginning for an album, and it's a great intro to have. Moving on to Take Me With You, the instrumental of this song itself isn't as in your face as the last song, but that's not what the song was going for. It just kind of hangs around in the background while he sings. It's certainly not my favorite song on this album, but it's not bad either. I kind of treat this song kind of like The Girl Is Mine from Thriller, with it being the weakest link of the album. But like I said, the laid back nature of the song is, it's fine. The instrumental, like I said, is very soft. The verse is good, but the climax of the verse with the "Take Me With You" is good. I like the laid-back nature, but it's not my favorite song on the album. Moving on to the beautiful ones. This one automatically starts off with a better instrumental than the last song, and the singing from Prince is much better on this song as well. It also adopts the slow-paced nature of the last song, but amplifies it with his overall vocal performance and the background instrumentals on the song. I really enjoy the singing of this song. It's very enjoyable, and honestly one of the best singing performances on the whole album. The solo instrumental cues are wonderful within the song as well. I definitely enjoyed this song, definitely more than the last one. The song definitely gets more rambunctious near the end, with Prince letting out this wild vocal range, proving that, you know, it wasn't just Michael Jackson who had a vocal range, he had one too. Moving on to Computer Blue, which is one of my favorite songs in the whole album. The song barely has anything resembling a verse. There's not really a heavy verse on this. It's nothing compared to the last song in terms of singing. But that's not what makes this song kick ass. The instrumental on this song, I don't say this lightly. This is one of the best instrumentals of all time. The instrumental doesn't even really pick up until after the singing is all gone. The singing is fine. The in between instrumentals are nice, but when the song stops, when the actual verse and words stop, and the instrumental is left playing, when it's just the instrumental for the rest of the song, it is so goddamn good. That guitar that he's just shredding is just... I actually don't have any words. It's just so fucking good. This song is kind of underrated, and the only thing I can really say about this song is this song fucks hard. After the dopamine hit from the last song, we're moving on to Darling Nikki. Darling Nikki is a good song. It's nothing like Computer Blue, but the flow of the song is actually really good. The instrumental is good once again, but that's to be expected from Prince. He displays once again his vocal range perfectly on the song, and it can get wild, especially at the end of the second verse. It can get crazy, but crazy in a good way. After this song, there is 4 certified bangers in a row, starting with When Doves Cry. This song already starts off with a badass guitar rip, and this song is basically letting you know that you're in for a fucking ride. And after that, this catchy ass beat comes in, and then eventually flows into the singing, which is just awesome. He sings with this low tempo, deep voice, and it works so well. And the chorus of the song is great as well. This is probably my favorite song on the whole album, and that's saying something considering the heat within what that is left within the last 3 songs. And this song hits all the right notes for a good song. Great instrumental, great singing. The chorus is fucking great. I fucking love this song. And as a lot of people know about When Doves Cry, it has a deeper meaning behind it too. The song showcases Prince's ability at songwriting like no other. The song is essentially a breakup song. The meaning of Doves Cry is symbolic for when something is changing from awful to good. Essentially talking about the relationship. And a dove actually symbolizes peace. So there's also hope for that. Maybe the people within the song can get through what they're going through. God, the song is just so fucking profound and good, and it showcases that Prince really is one of the greatest songwriters of all time. And next we have I Would Die For You. This song also kicks off with a great instrumental as well, and the flow of the song is good as well. These hooks that are... It's got these hooks that are great as well. The background instrumentals can get a little awkward for some people, but for me, I enjoy it. But the main selling point for the song as well is the tendency for the instrumental to break out in these strives that sounds great, and it doesn't last long, but it eventually simmers down back into this great fucking sounding chorus, and it's done masterfully. Moving on to the second to last song, Baby I'm a Star, another song with a great flow and a great instrumental. The singing is great. Everything on this song is great. I'm sounding like a broken record when talking about this album, but it really is just a great album all around. Thus far, there is not a single skip, and that does not change with the album track Purple Rain. This is a very laid back and chill song. Very, very lengthy, nearly 9 minutes long, but it's a damn good song, and it is so vibable. All the instrumentals is slow, and it's still great. It doesn't overshadow the actual singing of the song, which is the best part of this song, and it's just a wonderful way to cap off this album. This is a masterpiece. Truly a masterpiece album. It is very difficult to pick which song on this album is best, because you could literally pick one of the 9 songs and you wouldn't be wrong for saying it. In my opinion, When Doves Cry is the best song on this album, and the worst song is Take Me With You. And it's not even bad. It's just I wasn't jumping out of my seat for it, and it wasn't, like I said, bad. It was just fine. It was just okay. That's the worst this album has to offer. It's just an okay song. This album quite literally doesn't have a skip. You can listen to this album from start to finish, and it only gets better from track 1 to 9. I guess I can't really talk about Purple Rain without comparing it to Thriller. So, I will not tear down either album, but I will say this. Both don't have a bad song, and they both only have just one meh song. And both are very influential, and both are masterpieces. And I love both albums. And I only prefer Thriller slightly, just because of the magnitude of the 3 tracks on it. Only by a smidge. That being said, Purple Rain is an uncontested masterpiece, and it is an easy 10 out of 10. And I don't think anybody would argue with me about it. Not at all.